Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. As Mike said, I'm going to talk about why we need more UX for underrepresented groups. My name is Brittany, and I'm a second-year graduate student at UMSI studying human-computer interaction. So a little bit of background about me before I came here. I worked in journalism and communications, and now I'm transitioning to user experience. So a question I get asked from time to time is, do I notice any similarities from journalism and UX? And the answer is yes. So as journalists, we are responsible for telling the stories of all people, and the same could be said for UX, right? We're responsible for being storytellers and being advocates for all users. But what happens when we don't consider a diverse range of users and their stories and experiences? Are we really challenging ourselves to think beyond our comfort zones, our own personal and professional communities? So as an example, the companion app, some of you may know, is designed by University of Michigan students specifically for college women to have like a virtual companion when they're walking home alone at night. But what about taking this awesome concept and applying it to another potential group, like inner city youth, who have to travel long distances from home, school, and work, and are often at risk for being abducted or trafficked? So that's just an example of, how a great design concept could be applied to a whole nother potential group, which brings me to the idea of equitable design, which of course we think of as designing for a range of people with diverse needs and abilities. So some aspects of equitable design that we may be forgetting or unintentionally forgetting when thinking about users is usability. And of course, usability means a range of things. It could be something as simple as a user doesn't understand the language of the product or service, or they're having trouble finding what they're looking for. And actually, the Pew Center released a stat that said 15% of adults do not use the internet, and of that group, 33% cited usability problems. So what does that mean? That means that we are potentially shutting out 5% of the total population. So we really should consider that and think about how to reach that potential user group. Another issue I'd like to go into is hardware, but before I do that, another nugget about me, I'm Team Microsoft. Anybody out there, Team Microsoft? Thank you. Sorry. So in thinking about hardware, it's important to remember that unfortunately not everybody can afford the latest high-end gadget. And there are also people out there who don't have a computer or a tablet or simply just have access to a smartphone. So it's important to keep those people in mind as well in designing for them, so they also have an opportunity to be a part of this. And just another example, Spanish-speaking users tend to go for Androids because they're more accessible and affordable, and the apps designed on Android are more culturally favored to them. So that's just another example of a group to consider. And as UX professionals, obviously we're problem solvers. That's what we're good at. But it's good to keep in mind when designing that one design can solve one problem, but there are a range of opportunities that are out there that we could design for. So essentially, equitable design is important because we're a multicultural society and there are non-Caucasian groups who may feel shut out because there are products and services that are not geared towards them or applied to them. So Andrew Zussman stated a quote that says, "Rather than ask the question, which user is best, we should ask the question, how can we reach everyone?" Okay. So another way to twist that is to think, well, how can I get to know another user group? How can I reach out to other users and expand that out? So I'd like to challenge everyone here to just volunteer for a new community. Get to know them, get to know their problems, their pain points, their desires, their wants and needs, and that could be anyone from like refugee communities, underserved children, African Americans, Latinos, LGBT. There are many options out there to take a part of. So just remember that as UX professionals, we have the ability to change the world with our design. So be UX superheroes, go out there, make an impact, and special thanks to my peeps out there for helping me with this talk. Thank you.